You may be wondering, is it possible to over communicate with my patrons? Can you send too many emails and do too many social media posts and put up too many posters and flyers in your library? There's a way you can tell. I have the 4 tips to help you with this in this episode of the Library Marketing Show. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com. You can head over there and do 2 things. The first is to look for a tab that says the Library Marketing Show. You can ask a question that I'll answer in a future episode, or you can nominate your library or another library doing work in marketing for kudos. We're going to give away kudos in just a few moments. Also on superlibrarymarketing.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. On the left-hand side, you can turn in your email. I will not spam you, but you will get a notification every time I post to the website. Let's get into today's topic. This is actually a viewer question. Somebody asked, how do we make sure we're effectively reaching patrons without overdoing it or over communicating? Please note, I am a one-person marketing team for my library. Great question. Many of you are also working by yourselves on your library's marketing, and this concern has probably crossed your mind. Before we get into the 4 ways that you can tell whether you are over communicating, I want to give you one piece to think about. There is this thing called the marketing rule of 7. It started in the 30s, and in the movie industry, when they were trying to figure out how to get people to come to the movies, they determined that people needed to hear a message an average of 7 times in order to act on it. Buy a movie ticket in their instance. For us, the action is using the library. The number 7 is not important. The point is that it usually takes more than one time for a community member to see one of your messages in order for them to act on it. With that in mind, here are some ways to tell if you have actually crossed the line into over communicating. The first is if you're sending emails and people start unsubscribing from your emails in higher numbers than you have seen before. So you need to keep an eye on your email metrics. It is normal for some customers to sign up for a newsletter and then change their mind later. They may also move. Circumstances of their life may change. But if you start to see higher unsubscribe rates, you may be sending too many emails for your community, and it might be time to pull back. The second thing to look at is bounce rate. And I'm talking about bounce rate on both emails, but also mainly on your website. If people are coming to your website and then leaving immediately, you might have too much that you're communicating, whatever like messages you're sending out, you're not delivering on those messages on your website. So keep an eye on your Google Analytics and watch the amount of time that people spend on your website. If they're just going there and leaving right away, that's a sign of trouble. The third thing to look at is your what we call a CTR, your conversion rate. This can be on any kind of promotion, so digital and in person. If people are getting your messages, but they aren't doing anything after it, so like if you give them a postcard and you post on social media and nobody clicks on it and nobody from the postcard scans the QR code and you send an email and nobody clicks on anything inside the email, you may be sending too much stuff and that might be affecting it. What we want to do in that instance is to make targeted lists that ensure that the right information is going to the right person, that is in person and digitally. I would recommend for social media only posting 1 time per day per platform if you can handle that. The fourth thing to look at is with your print signage. If you have a lot of print signage in your library and people are walking right past it and then asking questions that are answered by your signs, you might have too many signs in your library. You might need to weed it down a little and make some strategic decisions about which of those print messages are most important. So that's 4 tips to help you figure out if you're over communicating. I'm curious if you have any experience with this, if you've ever noticed a metric or a trend that kind of was telling you, hey, I might be sending too many messages. How did you handle it? How did you know you were over communicating? What did you do about it? Let's get a conversation started down in the comments. It is time for today's kudos, and my kudos today goes to the Riverside Library in Evans, Colorado. This library got a book back. It was long overdue. It's one of those stories, but it's kind of a funny story because the name of the book was Psychedelics, and it had a little note, a little post-it note inside it that said, Sorry so late. It's been a long, strange trip. And of course, they pitched this to the media and got coverage on it. There's a little story, even with video, and you can watch it from the link down below. Congratulations and good job, Riverside Library. That's it for today's episode, but my channel is full of tips for library marketing. If you want to keep learning, head to this next video. I'll see you there.